A very good morning, all, and let's continue our lecture from where we stopped in the last lecture. So, I asked you to create one particular program where you need to implement the getters and setters with some conditions. So, please put on your answers in the chats of that particular program. Awaiting the answer in the chats. Guys, please put on your answers, those who have completed it. There is nothing complex or tough in that particular program. No. Set gender. Use set gender then. Yes, Jai, Udit, those who have started. Jinal, Yash. These were the students who started with this program. I want the answer of this program in the chats. If you can see on my screen, we already have two functions. I'm just going to add one more parameter here called $gen. And here I'm going to create one more property privately, that is private $gender, as Ami has done. And now you require only one more function for this gender. Let's say I'll just copy this one and paste it. Right? Let's say to get gen. This is the function. And I'm saying return gender, a property gender. Right? Here I'm creating the object of a person class. I'm passing two things, the name as well as the gender. Right? Here I invoke the $name, so I'm not using it again. And the same thing I'm going to use here. Let's say $P of get gen. Right? And here I'm going to print gender. Now the next thing is I need to print. So I'll say here BR. BR input gender is whatever the user has entered. Right? Next thing what you need to do is you just need to check if $gender, right, is equals to male, or two pipe signs $gender is equals to female, right? Then what you need to do? You just need to print the messages. Else this one, what you need to print? Echo single quotes. What you will print? Correct gender. And if it is not one, then we can say echo invalid gender. That's it. This was the program that I was expecting. This was the program. Right? Even it would say single quotes also will work here. Okay. I need to say the same thing. Just a bit. There is some other, okay, yeah, semicolon is left. Right, so this is what the program was expected from you. So execute this. There are some errors, so you just need to work. I'll just work on the errors even. But just for your reference, this was the program that was expected from your side. So I got Two more answers from Yash Kumar and Jay. Fine, guys. So you can practice like this in this way. Okay. Clear with this part? So getters and setters are done. So I move on to the next topic then. Is it done, guys? Clear? The getters and setters. So moving on to the next concept, the easiest concept of OOP, that is encapsulation. Tell me, what do you mean by it? The encapsulation. I'm talking about encapsulation. What do you mean by encapsulation? Be quick to answer. It's only a theory part. What is encapsulation? Come on, guys. Encapsulation is all about the enclosing of internal details of the object to protect from external sources. We actually bind out some of the important data or components of a program into one single bundle so that it is not getting accessed by any other user or any other component of your program. So it's a binding of data into a one single bundle. And what are the advantages of it? Anyone can tell me? What are the advantages of encapsulation? It's purely theory. I'm not going to go deep down in this theory. Sorry. You know this from your third semester, from ODP. What are the advantages of encapsulation? Be quick to answer. What are the advantages of encapsulation? And then we'll move on to the easiest part of OOP again. No one is willing to answer the advantages of encapsulation. Fine. The advantages of encapsulation are this: data hiding and abstraction, the security of data, it reduces the complexity, the reusability, the reliability, easier testing of code, and increasing flexibility of the program. So you just need to remember these things as a part of your examination. Explain encapsulation for the theory of 4 marks. This is your answer. You better know what is encapsulation. I am not going to discuss it at all. You learned it in many different programming languages, right? So when we want to deal with encapsulation in a program, we declare our properties or the variables ultimately using private access modifier. So whatever we have done just before or in the first lecture, the getter and setters are a part of encapsulation. Remember this thing, right? So moving on to the next, that is inheritance. We already done one of the program of inheritance in the first lecture, where we just use the parent class constructor in the child class. So inheritance is ultimately a mechanism where a child class can use the functionalities of the base class or a parent class. And we have 3 types of inheritance in this: the single or simple, multi-level, and multiple. What is single? That is A class and B class inheriting A class. What is multi-level? We have A class, B class, and C class. B class inherits A and C class inherits B. That is multi-level. And what is multiple? Tell me. I'll stop here. What is multiple inheritance? It is not supported by PHP. Even it was not supported by your .NET, if you can recall. So what is multiple inheritance? Be quick to answer. What is multiple inheritance? Anyone is willing to answer? Okay, it could be two ways. A single parent being inherited by two different childs, or a single child inheriting two different parents. It could be anything, right? So that is what is not supported by your PHP even, right? So now I want to have an example of single inheritance. So for that, I'm giving you a task in my notepad, and then we are going to see the same program from my side. So write down and see this task, what you need to implement. So I'm saying create a class called books with members or properties, whatever you can call, members as book name, title, sorry, author, and number of pages. I would say pages. Create a child class, or I would say create a class called technical books that inherits books with members as price and publication. Price and publication. Print relevant messages on browser console. Start working on this program. It's single inheritance. I want the answer of this program in my chat. So start working on it. You need to create a class called books that is having the members as book name, author, and pages. You need to create one more class called technical underscore books that inherits books class with the members as price and publication. Print relevant messages, or I would say print relevant details of books on browser console, and use single inheritance. And once you're done with this one, give me the answer of this. I'm just writing it. You first perform first one, paste it, and then start performing the second one. These are the two programs that you need to do. The first one is this one. And second one is this one. This is 1 and this is 2. Complete it and paste the code in the text for 1 and 2 one by one. You have about, from now, it's 8:52 in my watch. I'm giving you 10 minutes to complete both the programs quickly. Do it. How many of you started working on these two programs? If I just show you how to work with inheritance, then this is what you can do. See this one. We have a class, we have the public properties. Either we use the constructors or we use the two different functions for setting up the values and getting the values. And then we just use this extends keyword to make inheritance possible, right? And then we just create the object of the child class and access everything. So this is what the simplest thing is. So now give me the answer of these two programs in next 10 minutes. If you want, what I can do here is, just give me a moment. So I'll keep both the programs as well as the sample code open. First, complete the first one and let me know in the chats the answer. And then you go for the second one. I'm not showing you the second one right now. Done with the first one? It's the same thing that I've given you, and the same thing is available in the PPT also. And because we already worked with inheritance just before in first lecture, you know how to just inherit two class. Only Sagar is working on the program as per the message I have got in the chats. I can't see the raised hands because I have my screen being presented. Done, Harsh? Yes. Yeah, CS. Extends books. Huh? Yes, it's right. What is the issue? Dual book is the object of CS. CS object बनाओ, child class object बनाओ हमेशा. अब जो हाँ क्या CS हो सकता है जो object चाहिए. Anyone with the first program? Guys, it's the simplest one. What are you doing? Let me just show you the complete program here. See, this is the program that was expected. Public, I have created a books class with public title, public author, and public price as a properties. I have used the constructor to set up the values or assign the values to these properties. So constructor has been used, and I also use get values function to print them, right? So title of the book is this one, name is this one, and price is this one. I have used price instead of pages. That's it. That is the only difference, nothing else. Then in the technical books class, I am extending it to the books, that is inheritance. I have created one more property called publication. I have used two more functions in technical books to assign the values for technical book publication property, right? So set and get for printing it. Now I'm creating the object of only this technical books, the child class. I'm passing three parameters. What are the parameters? Title, author, and price. So I'll pass here title is Advanced Web Technology, author is Rachit Advaryu, and the price is 350. So this is the first constructor being called with three parameters, right? Similarly, I am also calling the same, using the same object, I am calling up the function of this child class, the set function. So set executive publishers. So this is my publication property. And then I'm printing $O get values. So this is the get value function of parent class. And then I'm printing this get. This is the function of child class. So you need to work in this particular way. If you want, I can paste this code for you in the chats. So I pasted the first part and now I'm pasting the second part. So this is what the sample example of your first single inheritance program is. Now looking to this particular program, I want the answer of the second one. Right? So I'm just opening it right now. Sorry guys. Yeah. I'll just open that notepad file, and this is what my second program is. So we need to create a class called university with the members as university name and city. We need to create a class called student that inherits university with members as student name, semester, and email. We need to create a class called subject that inherits student with members as subject name, credits, and total units, and print the relevant details of student studying a subject in a university on a browser console. Use functions for each input. So same thing, you need to take a constructor for university details. You can take another constructor for student details, and you can create a function for functions for subject details. Now it's up to you how you implement this one. I want answer of this one in the chats. For the first program, I already given you the answer in your chats. Now for the second program, you need to do it. So it will be a practice of single inheritance as well as multi-level inheritance. This is the practice of these two.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, how to call the parents constructor in the child class?
we need to use parent double colon and then the parent constructor's name. That we did it in the first lecture. If you can recall, just I'm showing you what, wait. I'm showing you the program of it. See this one. This is the parent constructor C, and I'm using parent keyword with double columns. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So refer to this particular program and kindly give me the answer of this one. It's 9:02 in my watch. I want the answer of this by 9:15. Ample amount of time has been given to you for this particular program. Use the sample code on the left hand side and implement the code on the right side. That's it. Harsh, what about you? First one done? Yes, Sagar, I'm checking it. Just wait. Sagar, I would say that it is incorrect because if you are using a parent constructor, right, then you need to write down either the class name or double underscore construct keyword to declare the constructor. That is the first thing.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, conceptually, it is correct. Otherwise, conceptually, it is correct.
Actually, I was not known about the particular syntax. That's why.
Yeah. So always remember that constructors can be declared in two ways in PHP, either double underscore construct keyword or the parent class names only, the class name only.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyone who has completed the second program. It's a bit lengthy, but it will give you a better scenario of working with inheritance in your real-time application. Public function get value. Okay, you are using echo. Dollar this one. No, no, matters. This is not dollar this one, right? This one. Okay. 10 of 4. No. What is 10 of 4? No, I don't know. 10 of 4. What is this? Okay, just wait. 5 of 4 for you back. Between of pages, public construct, between of pages, this of between pages between, also equals backup, pages equals to pages, okay. Then you get value, okay. Equals book title equals to the address of book. समीकरण तो कर देते हैं, क्यों करते हैं? और समीकरण बड़े बराबर है ना? प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में समीकरण में बहुत मोटे बहुत कैसे आते हैं? And around 25. Value and values. The values. This is a values function we can manage. Yeah, everything is like nothing. So second program side about the second program important है. ये जो वस्तु है, हम थोड़ी बहुत इधर बना देंगे. Three classes: university, student, and subject. ત્રણેય માટે ઇનપુટ લેવાનું ફંક્શન્સ થી ત્રણેયને પછી ઇનહેરિટ કરવાનું છે. યુનિવર્સિટીના સ્ટુડન્ટમાં, સ્ટુડન્ટને સબ્જેક્ટમાં. અને પછી સબ્જેક્ટની ડિટેલ્સ આપવાની છે કે આ સ્ટુડન્ટ આ યુનિવર્સિટીનો આ સબ્જેક્ટ ભણે છે. જે ક્રેડિટ્સ આટલી છે, જેની ટોટલ યુનિટ્સ આટલા છે, એવું બધું ટૂંકમાં. Read the program properly. Yes, anyone who has completed this program? Yes, class university, then name, city, bed levana. Then class student, student name, semester, and email. And then class subject for subject name, credits, and total number of units. That's it. You can expect such type of programs in your final examination if it is physical and handwritten. If Corona doesn't comes again and you have to be on a theory examination, then such type of programs you will surely expect, or you have to expect. Okay, what I can do is here, let's pause it here for a moment. Let's pause it, everyone. Pause yourself, everyone. Kindly pause yourself. What I'm going to do is I'll discuss two more concepts first, and then you can implement this program. So maybe it will help you to complete this program quite easier. Maybe, I'm not sure, to be frank. Only maybe. Right? So let's pause it here, and then we'll continue with this program once we complete the discussion of next two topics. Right? So I'll just minimize both of them.
Sir, can you check that error once or after this discussion?
After the discussion, Sagar.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Fine. So let's see what are the next two concepts that I want to discuss with you. And those two concepts you already know very well. That's why. Only major one concept, the multiple inheritance implementation. Guys, just recall the .NET C# language and tell me if we wanted to implement multiple inheritance, what we were using. Even in the Java, you might have used that one. What was the component of programming language that we're using in .NET or Java to implement multiple inheritance? Exactly, the interface. Similarly, also in this, we have an interface. What is interface now? I am going to discuss, but let me know if you can recall the definition of interface, the thing that what interface, how interface works actually. How interface works, what are the conditions to work with interface? Anyone can recall? Fine, let me just discuss it. See, interface is a way of implementing a multiple inheritance, right? So, in this PHP, we have two options to deal with multiple inheritance. The first one we know, that is interface, and the second one is traits. There are two different components in PHP through which we can implement multiple inheritance. The first one is interface, a very well-known term for you all, and the second one is traits. So we are going to see both of them right now. So what is interface? In interface, what we do is we declare a class, a parent class with a keyword called interface. If I am not wrong, right? If we declare the parent class with, I would say, interface keyword. And in this interface keyword, or in this interface, what we will have? We will have only and only method declaration. Only and only method declaration. We don't have method body. We don't have method definition or whatever the content of method. Only we declare the method. Now, what is the rule of interface? If any child class inherits interface, then it is compulsory for that child class to use the methods of interface. That means a child class has to compulsorily implement the methods of interface. Then and then we call it as multiple inheritance. So ultimately, if I compare with this one, let's say a parent class is having one method, a parent class B is having also another method, and if child C wants to inherit these two, then it is compulsory that child C should implement, should provide a body, should provide a definition to all those methods declared by this two parent class in the interfaces. Right? So this is what the basic idea of interface is. I hope it is clear. I hope I am clear with the interface concept. Yes or no? ગુજરાતીમાં ફરીથી કહું તો ખાલી એટલું જ કે જે ઇન્ટરફેસ હોય એને પેરેન્ટ ક્લાસ કન્સિડર કરવાનો હોય. ઇન્ટરફેસ જે છે એ ફક્ત મેથડનું નામ આપે છે. એની ફંક્શનાલિટીઝ કે એનું જે ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટેશન જે છે એ ચાઇલ્ડ ક્લાસે કમ્પલસરીલી પોતાનામાં કરવાનું હોય જો એને ઇનહેરિટ કરતું હોય તો. Right? Simply. So now let's see how to implement these things. So I'm not going to discuss this these theories. I will discuss with you. That's why. Right? So let's see how to use it. So this is what the example is. Interface, my interface. So ultimately this is your parent class. It says I have function method 1 and function method 2. So this parent class called interface, my interface, is declaring two methods, method 1 and method 2. Now this class, my class, this is a child class. Now instead of using extends keyword, we are using implements keyword. Because it is not a regular inheritance, we cannot use extends keyword. But what we are using implements keyword now. It's quite similar to your Java if I'm not wrong. Right? So class, my class implements my interface. So this child class called my class is trying to inherit the interface called my interface. And my interface has two methods declared. So now this child class is bound to use these two methods of my interface. So I'm saying function method 1 and its definition, function method 2 and its definition. Right? So this is how we can implement multiple inheritance in our program. Right? This is the general syntax. If I am clear with it. Am I clear with it?
Yes, sir.
Right? So let's see the example of this then directly. So I'll just keep it more, I would say, yeah. And let's go to P8. Let me just check it out whether it is, yeah. So you have an interface called get data, and you have a function called public function get. You have interface called print data, and you have public function called put. So this is what the scenario is. The same scenario, two parent class. So two interfaces, right? Having get data and print data as the interface name, and get and put methods. So now this class 1, is a child class, implements both these interfaces, get data as well as print data. And then it is compulsory to use the functions of interfaces. So get function has been declared, and I use get data method, some messages. And then put method has been used, and I have printed some dummy data. Now I'm going to create the object of a child class, and then we are just going to print both the methods of that child. If I now save this, and if I try to execute it, let's see whether it's getting executed or not. P8. You can see get data method called and put data method called. Yeah, just a moment. I have a low battery, guys. Yeah. So I hope it is clear. So this is the program that we have seen, where two interfaces being inherited by a child class. So two parent class being inherited by single child class. So this is it. And here we don't use the round brackets. We just declare it as this one. We create the object just. Right? So this is interface. And similar to interface, we have traits. So let's see what is trait also. So this is what the program I already have shown you in the output that we have in our PPT also. Moving on to the next part, that is traits. Now what is traits? What if a class needs to inherit multiple behaviors? Right? So similarly, it's a multiple inheritance. Right? So traits are used to declare methods that can be used in multiple classes. So traits declare such methods that can be used in more than one classes, right? So traits can have methods or abstract methods and can be used in multiple classes and with any access modifier. So it's similar to what we have studied about the interfaces. But how we implement these traits, that is important. So I'll just show you the implementation part. So what it is, you can see, we declare trait as trait keyword and a trait name, and we provide some code. Now, these traits have some code, some implementation. As compared to interface, interface does not have any implementation, but traits have some implementation. If you want to use the trait, you just need to use this keyword, use trait name. In any class, you can just use this trait directly using this keyword. That's it. So that is the difference between interface and traits. Interface do not have any implementations, while traits have some implementation that can be directly used in some other classes. So let's see this example. It will be quite clear. I have trait called message1. It is having one function called msg1. It is printing something called trait1 message code. I have other trait called message2, and it is having a function called msg2. It is printing something like trait2 msg2 code. So I have two traits in my program. I want to use these two traits in different classes, in different implementations. So what I will do, what I can do is, I have a class, class1. I am saying use message1. Now use message1 means use this trait message1. I have class 2. I am saying use message1 comma message2. So it means in this class 2, I am using both these traits, message1 as well as message2. So that's it. This is what all about the traits is. And then we just create the objects of the class and we call those methods of traits. What are the methods of traits? msg1 and msg2. So this is what it has been called here, msg1 and msg2. So let's see this example in the Visual VS Code. So this is what we have done. Trait message1, msg1 is the function. I have printed something. Trait message2, msg2 is the function, printed something. And these two classes are using those traits, and the same thing has been implemented. Created the object of class 1 and called only msg1. Create the object of class 2 and called both the functions of both the traits. If I save this and execute it on the output console, it would be like this one. Trait 1, message 1 called. So this was the class 1, which was using only trait 1. Then this is the class 2, which is using both the traits, trait 1 and trait 2, message 1 and message 2. So this is how the traits can be used. It's a type of multiple inheritance, but not exact multiple inheritance. But we can say, yes, we can use it. Purely multiple inheritance can be implemented only using by interface. Right? So this is all about your traits. I hope it is clear. And now you can have a very good way of implementing OOP concepts using traits in your actual application. Just declare traits and use them wherever it is required. Right? So this is all about your traits. Clear, guys, so far? Clear with this? Any queries in the traits and the interface? Then you need to implement this second program first. That is compulsory from my side. So I'm pasting it in your chat, Steven. Take a copy of this. I want this program implemented before the next lecture. That is on Monday. Right? And then we'll start with the next topic of this particular units. So with these remarks, I am ending up this lecture here. We'll meet soon in the next lecture on Monday. Right? So I'm ending up this lecture here. Thank you very much, guys. Now you can drop your enrollment numbers in the chats. Thank you.